Now at 9 o'clock, a major break in a string of high-profile murders here in the Valley. A person of interest is now in custody in the Valley serial shooter case. 7 people were murdered, 2 others wounded in a crime spree that lasted several months, primarily in the West Valley. Tonight, victims' families are reacting to the news that someone is finally being questioned.
Mixed feelings. I mean, I'm praying that it is him, that they got the right person. It's really been hard. And as you know, we're passing holidays and things like that, and they're not here, and it's coming up on their anniversary, and it's a lot of mixed emotion. It's really hard.
We're going to have more tonight from that grieving grandmother coming up in just a few moments. But first, let's get you caught up to speed now on the criminal investigation into the Valley serial killer. CBS 5 investigative reporter Morgan Lowe, he broke that story today. He begins our team coverage from inside of our newsroom tonight with new information about a man who police are questioning right now, Morgan.
Brandon, this appears to be a case where they arrested someone for one crime, and now it looks like he may have been involved in another, much more notorious crime spree. The question dogging investigators for more than a year: who is this man, the serial street shooter? Sources inside Phoenix police tell us they have someone they're calling a person of interest in custody, a man who was arrested within the past 2 days for a different shooting, this one back in 2015. But now they think he could be connected to the shooting and killing spree that started in March of last year and went on until July. And the Phoenix Police Department is not officially confirming they have anyone related to this case in custody. They're also not releasing the person's name. That will likely change if investigators develop enough evidence to classify him as a suspect. Brandon.
All right, some solid reporting tonight. Morgan Lowe, as always, thank you. Moments after Morgan broke that story today, we spoke to a grandmother whose daughter's friend, and granddaughter were all shot and killed by this serial killer. Here's her reaction tonight to that breaking news.
People saying that, even with justice and this will bring closure and this and that, I don't foresee that.
Such thing as closure.
It's no such thing in closure. For no family that has had to experience anything like this, there is no closure. You just live day by day. You just try to go on with your life.
Your heart breaks for all of the victims' families out there. That grandmother again, hoping that police have finally found the killer. And tonight, law enforcement sources are telling us who that person of interest is. But at this point in time, we are not going to identify this man because he hasn't been named officially as a suspect in this case. 3TV's Derek Stahl joining us live now from the Maryvale Police Precinct tonight. This is the neighborhood, Derek, where these murders began. You've been talking to witnesses and victims' families tonight. What are you learning out there?
Well, good evening. We now know police reapproached and interviewed at least 2 victims this week, right around the time they took this person of interest into custody. One victim telling me officers showed him a photo lineup of 6 pictures of potential gunmen. And we now have reason to believe one of those pictures was of this person of interest.
The serial shooter left 7 people dead and 2 hurt in the span of 117 days, plus others who only narrowly escaped the gunfire.
Maybe I didn't deserve it or did deserve it, but I got away.
This 22-year-old was driving home with his 4-year-old nephew in July last year when he says someone pulled up in a black BMW and opened fire at 30th Street in Sheridan.
It was just all so fast, I couldn't believe it.
He and the boy escaped unhurt, and he helped police develop this sketch. But he admits he started to lose hope of there ever being a break in the case. 9 months later, officers showed him a photo lineup.
I think definitely at least that's one more bad person off the streets. Hopefully, mothers and fathers or society or people can just feel a little bit more safer. But I know there's still probably a lot more work to be done aside from the guy, because I know he's probably not the only one or the last one.
Calvin Davis doesn't think the serial shooter worked alone either.
I seen 2 assailants in the car. Driver was bigger than the passenger.
Davis performed CPR on 19-year-old Manny Castro Garcia after the teen was fatally shot in a parked car June 10th. His reaction to police questioning a person of interest?
That's a big sigh of relief because I still feel that these people need closure, and that's just the bottom line.
Now, the victim who police showed the photo lineup to tells me he wants to put all this behind him, but he is ready and willing to testify in court. Reporting live, Derek Stahl, 3 TV.
Derek, thank you. Right now, police are still asking for your help with this. Silent witness offering up a $75,000 reward for a conviction. We have a special section devoted to the serial killer investigation on our 3 TV News app.